If you've seen Leviticus, you already know that it hits different and it has crazy religious imagery. So let's talk about the book of Leviticus and Leviticus. The book of Leviticus is the third book in the Old Testament. The majority of it is God speaking to Moses, telling him things to repeat, laws to follow, and rules to spread, basically. But there are two verses in particular in the book of Leviticus that matter in the context of the movie. Leviticus 18:22 states, "Do not have sexual relations with a man as you would a woman. That is detestable." And Leviticus 20:13 basically says, if you do that shit, you're gonna die. You must die. Now, there are countless translations of the Bible. Some interpret these verses very differently. Some say that a man should not lie with a boy. Some say that a man should not take on the passive or feminine role. But the most common reading, and the one that has been weaponized for centuries, is that homosexuality is a sin. And the book of Leviticus doesn't just tell you what that sin is, it also tells you how to purge it. Throughout the Bible, including in the book of Leviticus, stoning is prescribed as a method of purification, a way of driving out evil. And then you watch a movie and you see Ryan and Hunter throwing rocks at each other. That's not random. Their entire lives growing up in this town and in this church, they have been indirectly told that who they are is a sin. What they feel is a sin. And when the Bible is sort of pushed as the only truth, and you're constantly being told that something is wrong with you, you want to cover all your bases. You try to fix it, even if fixing means hurting each other. That's the key word. Each other. Because Ryan and Hunter's entire dynamic is built on fear. Fear of what they feel, fear of what the other person represents, and fear of what they might become if they give into it. The rocks are an act of purification, but also of terror. They are not safe with each other, and they never were gonna be. Leviticus chapter 8 is also referenced directly in the movie by the deliverance healer. Chapter 8 is all about consecration, specifically purification, washing, anointing, the application of blood, burning, all performed to make sure someone is clean enough, pure enough before they stand before God. And one of the central themes of this chapter is the pervasiveness of sin. The idea that sin doesn't just exist in what you do, it stains the body itself. It stains you, it stains your life. And it has to actively, ritually be removed. This is exactly what the healer is doing to Ryan, Name, and Hunter. You are unclean, we must drive this out of you. You cannot be acceptable as you are. Aaron and sons played with fire. And here's where the movie really gets smart. Because the entity, the thing that is hunting Ryan and Name, they get stronger every time they give into each other. Every time they choose what they feel over what they've been told to feel, the stain grows. The sin compounds. And that's the logic that this world that they're living in has been feeding to them. But notice what actually happens. Ryan and Name are fully aware that everybody wants them to be afraid of each other. And to a certain extent they are, especially when they're away from each other. But the more time they spend together, the less afraid they become. Even though this thing is hunting them and it looks like them, they still find safety in each other. And eventually they don't even really care that the entity is getting bigger and better. They know that the stain is spreading by the logic of everything they have been taught, and they choose each other anyway. That is pretty much the entire thesis of this film. Pervasiveness of sin is real, but only if you believe it to be. Yes, the entity is still hunting them, but they have each other. This movie is called Leviticus for a reason. It's not just a title, it is the weight that these characters are also carrying throughout the film. The laws handed down to them, the punishments they believe they deserve, the way they internalize that, turn it on to each other and themselves. The book of Leviticus tells you what the sin is and what it costs. And the movie asks, what if you just stop paying?